If you struggle picking areas to fish with the jig, then this video is for you. Today, we're going to go over how to find the sweet spots on channel swing banks. We're going to go over boat positioning, where to throw the jig, and why these channel swing banks are different than the others. Welcome to Bass Fishing Declassified. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. So picking out channel swing banks to fish, and especially the ones with rock, there is a little bit of an art to it. I know for me as a young angler, I would just pick them out on my contour map in Google Earth before I got to the lake. I'd go there and fish, drop the trolling motor, and then start fishing the points and the rock all that swings all the way around. But as I've gotten older and more mature in fishing, I've learned that there's actually a process to this, to saving time and to put more fish in the boat, as I just did here. So as I got to the lake today, the first thing to do, of course, before just studying your contour map and Google Earth, as I got to the lake, I decided to idle some of these places. Now, when I would idle, I'd use my 2D and down imaging to look for bait fish. Now, if there's no bait fish in the area, that is okay. Like I said, there still could be bass way up there on them rocks feeding on crawfish or brim or waiting for bait fish to come by. But if you do see bait fish in the area, that just kind of gives you a little bit more of a confidence of, hey, there are some fish here. As this channel swing bank right here was the first one where I saw just a lot of bait fish. They were not up against the rock, but out there suspended in front of the rock. So then after I determined that the bait fish was there, the next step was using my eyes. And I say using my eyes is looking for the sweet spots on the channel swing bank. Instead of just starting to fish it and fish all the way up the bank, I went ahead and marked out certain sweet spots on the channel swing bank. Some of them sweet spots, as you're seeing with the drone image, is just a little bit of a rock change, or it could be just a little bit of a subtle point. So guys, I've been on the lake for 2 hours, and of course, I use an hour of my time graphing and idling, and then when I found that bait fish right here, that's when I decided to use my eyes and mark the spots on the channel swing bank that I like to fish. And then I went through there in an hour, and like I said, and I caught 2 fish. I had 3 bites, 2 good fish actually. The one was over 4 pounds. And now what I would do is, I know I came over here and filmed for you guys, but I would actually like to go back and fish these again. Either throw with a jig again or throw a different type of jig. Right now, I'm using the Fish Settlement offshore jig, and I'm using a hair jig. That's my 1-2 punch right now. But if I do not fish it again, I'm going to go up and try to find other areas like this and copy. And so as you guys know, fishing a jig, you're not going to get many bites in a day. Okay, now if you do get a lot of bites and catch a lot of fish, that's great. But typically in the winter, you're not going to get many bites, but your bites are going to be good ones. So when you get the bite, you got to take the opportunity to catch the fish. Now guys, let's talk about boat positioning when fishing these channel swing banks. Okay, boat position right now is very key. Very, very key. And as a young angler, I did not understand boat positioning on these type of structures like this, as I'm about to share. So this lake is a highland reservoir lake. But if you fish a lowland reservoir, guys, river system, this all kind of goes into play. So this lake is a flood control lake, all right? We had a bunch of rain Tuesday. The lake came up 2 foot, and it's already coming back down. So I'm out here 3 days after the rain and it came up, and it's already started getting pulled. So you got to look at this section, and this is a small and highland reservoir lake, and I'm kind of in the river section. But guys, if your lake is a lake where they keep it level and there's a lot of rain, and they try to pull it to keep it level, then the current can affect your lake, and it also affects this lake. So these fish are used to the water fluctuating. So right now it is coming down, and when it's coming down, the water is coming down the lake. So these fish are positioned looking up, waiting for these bait fish, crawfish, bluegill, whatever their prey is, coming by. So I'm not going to put my boat and fish down this channel swing bank. And if you're watching this, you're like, hey, I still catch fish on my lake, and it's like that. Well, hey, that's good for you. But once again, I'm talking about saving time here, guys. And I'm saving time by throwing up the river, up the lake, and fishing my jig down. And guys, this will also work if you see a brush pile, like that. I've not seen any brush on this one yet, but if you see a brush pile off of this bank, okay, there might only be 1 or 2 casts. You can catch them fish out of that brush pile, depending on the direction of your lake with the current coming down. So right now, this lake, it's on its way down. And like I said, they're not pulling it hard, but they're pulling it. But these fish up this section of the lake fill it more than they do down the lake. So boat positioning is very, very key when fishing these channel swing banks. Okay guys, hey, real quick, just a little tip on fishing a jig. And you can also, I fish my Texas rig worm this way too. And it's something that I know at first can be uncomfortable. But it's something that is a must just to help you feel more bites. And once you get used to it, you will appreciate doing this when fishing a jig and a Texas rig worm, okay? So as you see, I have my finger right here under this line, okay? So right there, it's under it, just so I can feel any bites. Now one of the things I know a lot of jig fishing a jig mistakes are is on the bottom, and this kind of actually helps you make sure it gets down there too. So if I'm not even sure if I'm on the bottom, like right now, I'm sitting here in 45 foot. Now I know like this bank's coming down, and I'm watching my line and seeing if there is slack. And so like right here, I'm feeling the rocks right there. I'm letting it go right back down, okay? And this is helping me. Now, if I don't think I am on the bottom, then like right there, I can feel those rocks. Like I said, I know that bank's coming out. Like I said, this is a sharp drop off, but I can just let line out, okay? It's all right. So, because if your jig is not touching the bottom, and then it goes down as you're letting the line off, that's okay. You might get a bite there. So, like I said, just a little tip. Hey, practice getting that line right here like this, and it will help you feel the bites. As in that bite fish I just caught right there, I felt a little tick in my line, and I was like, oh, I have one on. Thank you for watching today's video on Bass Fishing Declassified, brought to you by Fish the Moment. If you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. We have a team with a unique group of anglers from experience from fishing across the country. We're here to give you exclusive strategies, tips on to become a better angler no matter where you live at. Thank you for watching. Now let's get back to the video. Okay guys, so let's say I go back and fish this again, which I might here in a second, I'm not sure yet. But let's say I come back and fish this again and I get another bite or two off of one of those sweet spots. Then I might decide, hey, I might need to fish this whole thing. Instead of fishing it all at the beginning, like I said, I'm going to fish the sweet spots first that I see with my eyes. As one of these on this bank, the rock even came out more. And then it had a sharp drop off, which this channel swing came right there. Didn't catch a fish there, but I would think there are some fish down there, or if we'll fish get down there eventually. So helping to determine when to fish the whole channel swing bank, let's say like I just said, I went through there, I had 3 bites. I go back, have some bites again. Then I might determine to, hey, let's go ahead and fish all of this and not fish it at the beginning. So guys, right now, my 1-2 punch is this football jig. This is the Fish the Moment football jig by Jewel Bait Company. You guys heard about it. It's Johnny Schultz's jig. Man, I've thrown it ever since it's came, he's came out with it. The wire weed guard I do like, and like I said, this is the peanut butter jelly color. Johnny tells you guys he throws that color. He means it, because that's all he gave me, even though I do have some other jigs on the deck that I've not thrown yet, but they're different colors. I'm using the Jewel VersaCraw trailer, guys. I took off the 2 bigger arms and just going with the smaller ones right now for just the winter. My other lure, like I said, I have a 1-2 punch going, is a hair jig. I'll put the link in the description to that hair jig, guys, and I say that because there's a video Johnny actually talked about this hair jig recently, and he talked about a little tip for it, and I'm using that tip today. So I'm actually gonna let you guys go and try to watch that video and see what that tip is. I'm using the gray color today, and I'm throwing that hair jig on a spinning rod tackle. I'm using the Denali 7.2 all-purpose spinning rod. I believe it's a medium heavy. And like I said, my line for football jig, this is Sunline FC Sniper 4 carbon. This is the 16 pound. So anyway, hey guys, appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helped you determine on which areas to pick when fishing channel swing banks. Hey, we'll see you next time.